how sweet it is. I have the power. To me, love by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. Why is the camera working today like there's no issues? That's crazy. Okay, but you know, see what happens as the show goes on. But this is your weekly Thursday night nerdy talk show where we sit back and relax. I said we sit back and relax. And hopefully by now, that's right, it is Thursday. I like in my brain was just like, wait, is it actually Thursday? It is Thursday. Hopefully by now you've poured yourself just a little bit
more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
As we cruise into the weekend, as Ultra Carter says, this is war. But of course, if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, newsletter, social signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shit. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a couple trailers that dropped today. I'm sure there's toy news that I missed, forgot about. And of course, 3D printing updates for all of you as well. Got a lot of videos queued up, so I'll talk to you guys about that. And who knows? Maybe I'll do something a little extra this weekend for some of the channel members. We'll see. I'll throw some ideas around. But of course, remind me if I forget to cover any of these things, because it's your show as well. But without further ado, we bring in the man, the myth, the legend. It is me. I'm the problem. It's me. You know, one more time for the Canon EOS R and for Ecamm Live actually working today. We're going to hit the...
More specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
I didn't have to refresh. I didn't have to turn off the computer. I didn't have to do anything. It just worked. And that never happens. That literally never happens. So I don't know which party, whether it's the camera or the app, I don't know who's responsible, but it worked out the gate. So hopefully as the show goes on, things continue to work. We'll see. I realize the chat's not on the screen because we had some guests last week, so we'll bring that up. Probably helps if I move this out the way. Put you guys over here as per usual. And let's just knock out the shameless plugs before we start saying hi to everybody. We, of course, have nerdaffiliated.com, your one-stop shop for all things nerd affiliated, whether it's links to the latest live stream, whether it's links to the latest clip, latest Daily Planet episode, merch, like your Nerd Busters shirt. You can pick all of that up over at nerdaffiliated.com. But of course, if you want to get in contact with us in real time, you of course have Nerd Affiliated on Instagram, the Real Nerd Busters on Instagram, the same across Facebook, and we're on Discord, and we have a Reddit page, Nerd Affiliated 1 on Reddit. So hit us up over on those things. But I got to figure out a way to, I guess, the thought process here. I would like to have more conversations with you guys outside, you guys and gals, outside of, the show. But the problem is I'm just in like so many like group chats, toy collector chats. There's a wrestling chat. just the nerd affiliated chat, like just so many like chats already. I'm like, God, do I want to like start another one or join another one? I already can't keep up with Discord. I'm already bad at Discord. So I don't know what to do. So I'll take some suggestions. I don't know if Facebook's just the easiest way to do it. I don't know. But I feel like going into another app is not the move at the moment. I have to say, I do enjoy. I joined. I actually joined 2 Patreons since buying the 3D printer. The Ghostbuster gear one, so I can get all my Ghostbuster files, and then Yosh Studios, where I've been getting all the other files, like the Cyclops visor. I think you guys already know I'm doing a Power Sword from Power Rangers, but working on another Power Sword as well. So the reason I brought that up is I like how in Patreon, it's kind of like an ongoing chat. So people just kind of like talk to each other. There's no subgroups. It's just one chat. And then Yosh Studios, the actual like 3D modeler, jumps in with like updates and stuff. So I don't know. I kind of like that format, but I don't feel like putting that behind a Patreon. Not yet. We're not there. Maybe I do a members only chat. Maybe that's easier to manage. I don't know. But yeah, let's see how to the chat. Of course, like I said, Ultra Carter in the house. Good to see ya. Dave's Dimension in the house. Good to see ya. Hey, yo, it's the Master Builder. I wish. Unless Rex is here and I didn't see him. Rogue Demon in the house. Good to see ya. Everybody saying hi to each other. I love it. K-Walk Comedy in the house. Good to see you, Kathy. 4 more days until you're 31. Hey, happy birthday in advance. I feel like we just celebrated your birthday. Is that time just flies. Time just flies. True sign of a 3D printer is paint grease on the knuckles. Do I? Oh yeah. Wow, good observation, Dave. So the paint that's actually on my hands is from today's progress. The cuts on my hand, I don't remember what was it? Oh, the lightsaber. I cut my hand on the lightsaber. But I was doing some priming downstairs before the stream, and that's where the paint on my hands is from. Shout out again to Millennium Workshop. First of all, guys, hit the like button if you can. If you have not done so, you hit the share button with a friend, and of course, hit the bell to get notified every time we go live here on the channel. Airbrush, an airbrush machine, absolute game changer. Absolute game changer. Like just now, I'm just gonna get this part out of the way. The most annoying part about an airbrush is actually cleaning it. I've spent more time cleaning the airbrush versus using the airbrush. The one difference, though, is that because it's using acrylic paint, thinned out acrylic paint, I can just airbrush in the house. No fumes. 0 fumes. It's amazing. And the paint dries hella fast. So I'm definitely going to put an affiliate link, add it to kind of like a working queue of the things I use as we proceed to give you what you need in 3D printing. But I wish I was airbrushing sooner. I wish I discovered it sooner because it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. We got T3 in the house. The Motu trailer was fire. We're going to talk about that. Ultra Carter saying hi to T3. War, huh? What is good for? Absolutely nothing. Dada Films in the house. Good to see you. Patrick in the house. I'll give you a dab as well. You'll get a dab as well. Good to see you. Patrick and I have our own group chat. It's just the 2 of us, but we're just bombing each other all day. talking stock market stuff. So that's been fun. That's been fun as well. Oh, there he is. Rex is in the house, the master builder, Millennium Workshop. Good to see you. Dave saying hi to everybody. Appreciate you dropping by last night on the podcast. Of course. I'm just happy you're podcasting again, streaming again. So make sure you guys, of course, follow T3. Follow everybody. Everybody so far I've read off, if you're listening or watching the replay, everybody I've read off has a YouTube channel, or the bare minimum is on Instagram posting things. So make sure you give them all a follow. But yeah, you've been posting a ton of toy hunts. So I'm happy to see you just doing a live / podcast. You're back in that world. Welcome back. Welcome back. Got Tony in the house. Good to see you. Tony has some fun things in voice break. Tony has some fun things in store planned. He's sent me some DMs on stuff. Pretty excited for. I will not say it here, but stay tuned for that. Buffalo Dave, there you go. Use Discord regardless. Facebook is for grandpa and his clouds. Yeah. It's funny. A friend of mine's dad was like, "Are you active online anymore? Like, I don't see you posting." And I was like, "Posting where?" And he was like, "Facebook." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't." Rarely. I think when it comes to Facebook in particular, first of all, I think I said it here. If I didn't, I'm going to say it now. I love Threads. Threads is my new favorite social media app by far. I feel like the algorithm is just spot on. Like it gives me everything that I'm looking for when I'm scrolling just, my feed. Meta, of course, owns Threads, but yet somehow the algorithm is so different than Facebook. I don't know why. Not complaining. But I have Facebook because I have Threads. And I have Facebook because I have Instagram. And you need to have a Facebook portfolio. They call it a business portfolio in order to kind of keep everything together. So Facebook's like a necessary evil to own or have. We're also monetized on Facebook, and hopefully someday we monetize on Instagram. So because they're tied together, again, Facebook is a very necessary evil currently. So who knows? Maybe Instagram at some point was going to be for boomers, and I'm going to have to learn something new. But that's why. Looks like we have a bot over on Twitch. Okay. Geek Strong in the house. Strongest support. Good to see you. Motu was the first trailer I've watched in months. That's true. You are not a trailer watcher. And then Shadow Lord after. Yep. Louis in the house. Good to see you. With the dilly. Everybody saying hi to each other. You told me. You did tell me. Tell them about the eye. The eye. What am I forgetting? Oh, wait. Is it a project that you're working on? Is that what you're referring to? I don't want to say something and it's like a spoiler. God Convoy Prime in the house. Good to see you. I heard Trump is wanting to purchase the Ninja Turtle license from Playmates. That would increase the stock of Playmates, I'll tell you that. Come on by Friday for the Dimension download at 8:30-ish Eastern. There you go. Make sure you guys check that out. Rambling Nerd in the house as well. Good to see you. Rex, the chat wasn't working for us, so I didn't know who was in the chat until I pulled it up on my phone. Oh, yeah, there you go. Will Archer 3D print himself into oblivion this snowstorm? Probably. Threads is dope. Yep. All good. Airbrushing. Oh, yeah. So Rex, he again, he's been awesome in this whole 3D printing thing. Actually, I want to pull up, not on screen, but I want to pull up my app here just to make sure the print isn't failed. I've been doing pretty good the last couple days, knock on wood. I haven't had any fails, so okay, it looks good. So Rex was like, hey, when you pick up the airbrush, Rex is Millennium Workshop, by the way. A lot of you know that, just in case. So Rex was like, first of all, get this airbrush kit. It's a good starter kit. And if you want, FaceTime me when you get it, and I'll show you how to use it. So I was like, all right, you know, on Monday, I should have some time. You know, if it's not going to inconvenience, you know, let me know. And sure enough, he was down, and on Monday he on FaceTime walked me through the whole thing with the airbrush. It was amazing. And then he was like, oh, let me show you like how you can, you know, adjust these various settings and pieces of the airbrush to essentially do like a lot of shading, heavy paint, light paint, thin lines, etc. And he just drew like this dope eyeball, like just random. And he was like, damn, that looks pretty good. And I was like, hey, that actually looks really good. But just by using the airbrush and changing settings and stuff. So it was cool. But again, that's why I love this community, is that all of us are always trying to help each other, support each other. And that's all we can ask for. That's what we can ask for. So shout out to
more specifically vodka,
Rex of Millennium Workshop.
Beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
And of course, Dave, Wes, even Tony has offered his assistance with the 3D printing and the airbrushing and all that stuff. So I appreciate all of you guys. Appreciate all of you. Steve is looking forward to his snow shovel for the storm. Yeah, I do love that thing. The Outer Dimension podcast coming back Saturday, 8 p.m. There you go. Got Jamie Pale Rider in the house, Gen X from the podcast. Good to see ya. Love it. All right, so yeah, let's dive on in. Does anybody have a thing, a graphic? He does. All right, cool. So we're going to head over to our boy Daniel's page, Legacy of Nerd. And today we got two different trailers. Yesterday was a teaser. Today was a full trailer. But we finally got our first full-on look to Masters of the Universe. And I got some thoughts. And I didn't post about it necessarily. But I actually like this picture showing some really good details there. I didn't post really about it at first. Not too much. Not like I did for Maul. We'll talk about that. But as far as the Masters of the Universe trailer, Sal, shout out to Sal, he nailed it. While cool, it did look AI. It had this like very not real world feel, which is, I guess, kind of silly to even say, because we're talking about Masters of the Universe. I felt like at any point in time, Thor could just walk on in from Thor Ragnarok. Like I thought it was going to say like produced by Taika Waititi. Like it looked completely like that. But it still looked like fun. I hope it's fun. I hope it's good. We got Skeletor in it, so they kind of went all out. Like they kind of went out to showing everything. They showed everything. Very much a Superman story. Sent to Earth. You know, he knows he's not from Earth. But yeah, they showed it all. And like I said, it looked AI, to Sal's point. Am I excited to see it? Sure. Am I going to see it in theaters though? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters. But I am hoping that it is awesome. I'm hoping it's awesome. I'm hoping that the reviews are so good. I do want to go see it in theaters because we need it. I feel like we need a nice 80s nostalgia in theater win. Something that like we've been talking about it a lot lately. Star Wars, something where like the parents taking the kids to be like, I grew up on this, I'm taking you so you can experience it. Go from there. So overall, I thought it was a great trailer. I wish it didn't look as CGI as it did, or as AI as it did, but it did. And I'm hoping it's good. I am generally hoping it's good. At the moment, I'm gonna wait till it's a home release, and then. But if people say it's, if I'm getting good reviews, if any of you get to go to the premiere or get early screenings, and you tell me it's really good, I have no issues going to the theater to see it. Before I get to the comments, though. We started it. We started making our power sword. I know. I've not finished any of the other stuff yet. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. But we started a new print of the power sword. And I messed up on the structure of it. Like, it's not as strong as I would have wanted it to be. Feels good though. But I mean, this is not with any kind of, this is off the print bed with the supports taken off. That's it. So I'm not going to have to do a lot on this, but at the same time I will, because it has to be shiny. It has to be shiny. So that's going to be a fun build. And I figured today was the day to start it. Today was the day to start it. Let's scroll up and get to the comments. Superman or Thor vibes for sure. Yeah. Anthony said, why'd it have to be set on Earth at all? First, I mean, it is cheaper to film on Earth. But it's, we talked about it in our group chat, where a lot of things these days seem like AI is like, all right, this works, make a movie. This is your story. So, He-Man in itself is a King Arthur type story. Superman was popular. He's sent to Earth as a kid and has to grow up on Earth. So take that. Has to go back, reclaim the throne. It's all the classic story beats. And it's not like they can do anything really drastically different, because that's the story of He-Man anyway. But similar to the Dolph Lundgren one, which I think they're hoping, like I said, our generation takes our kids, our respective kids, go see it and be like, oh, I love Masters of the Universe. Here's Masters of the Universe. It looks similar to what I grew up on, They're hoping for all of that. So we'll see. Speaking of Devil, Legacy of Nerd in the house. Good to see you. I love the trailer, but I have one complaint. Where's Orko? I'm sure they'll bring him in. Hyped doesn't begin to describe how I feel. That's awesome. I love that. Trailer actually looked like it could be good. Yeah, exactly. And then JB in the house as well. Good to see you. Taking off June 5th for sure. Yep. I like this movie, and I have not a single tie to any of the past stuff. There you go. His mom's from Earth, so I figured she sent him there for safety. Most people forget that Marlena is from Earth, so Adam/He-Man is half human, just saying. Well, there you go. So far, a lot of references from early animation designs and prior toy sets from Mattel. Awesome nod to the beginning of He-Man. What you say, Steve? You'll be in the theaters? I said if it's good. It's good. Can't wait for all the popcorn buckets. There you go. General Kenobi. Good to see you. How's the BFG 3000 going? BFG 3000. BFG 3000. What? I'm drawing a blank on that. Everything hi to each other. Oh, cheaper to film on Earth. So we're going for what's easier over the effing art. Leto peeled back all his skin off his skull and dyed himself blue for that role. Yeah. I did just see the original with Lundgren at work. Yeah. I was actually going to post a reel today about the OG movie because I saw a clip of it and I just didn't get a chance to. I thought it looked good. It seemed he doesn't have forgotten memory, which I didn't want. I mean, that's good. That's at least good. You know, we're not doing a whole like hook thing where the person forgets and then they have to like relearn that stuff. He knows where he's from and he knows that he has a higher power, you know. Wait, that's Leto? No, he's talking about we're talking about Tron Ares in our group chat. I'm still cosplaying as He-Man June 5th at the theaters. Yeah. BFG 3000 equals Doom. Oh, thank you. The big effing gun. Yeah. So I tried to share that on Instagram, but the person has it blocked where you can't share it like as a story. But I sent it to Kenobi, that guy who's been building like the massive railgun. It is insane. But the other one we got this fine day was we got our trailer to Maul the Shadow Lord. Holy hell. They finally confirmed April 6th. Actually, yesterday on Kenobi stream, he was like, oh, I hope they actually tell us when it's coming out. I didn't think it'd be that far out. But man, that trailer looked good. That trailer looked so good. And that part when he freaking mows down the stormtroopers by throwing the lightsaber. Oh man. What's interesting is, of course, you know, people are going to say it has to do with, you know, Disney turning the page with Kathleen Kennedy going away, as though this wasn't already in production before she decided to step down. But I'm of two thoughts on one thing here. Let's head on down. I think I showed you guys the sabers I've built, right? So since the last stream, printed out the Return of the Jedi Luke saber. Pretty good. I still need to print off another saber. I printed one for my neighbor that was from Jedi Knight, the OG game. He wanted that saber from the first game, so I printed that out for him. Came out great. And I'm going to print out the second saber for him. I just got to find a good file for it. But I also printed out this one for myself. And it's funny. I think Mike Skywalker commented on this. He does a lot of lightsaber dueling. I've shown him before on the stream. This is such an uncomfortable saber. Like, Luke using this is just, it don't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I could see like Vader using this because you lose all this real estate here. And Vader, he's one-handed when he's fighting. Except for when he's really like nervous and then he goes double. But Saber's very much a one-handed. So I could see that, but Luke using this two-handed, I'm like, you're turning this thing off every single time. Don't make sense. But I had to print it because this was the first saber I had as a kid. I had the Return of the Jedi saber. Anyway. The thoughts I have with Maul. Like I said, I love it, but a very good point has been made. How many times are we going to keep telling these like all new stories surrounding the same characters, right? Like we saw Maul come back in Clone Wars. We saw Maul come back in Solo. We saw Maul come back in Rebels. We know where the story ends. Why do we need another Maul story? Totally see that. I totally see that. I totally understand it. But I think what's interesting with him is there is a long period of downtime as far as we're concerned. Because he comes back, he does come back in Rebels, but between the ending of Clone Wars when Revenge of the Sith happens and Rebels, there's a good amount of time there. There's a good chunk of time. So he did create the Crimson Dawn. He does create his little mafia gang. So there's a good amount of story to be told there, in my opinion. So while I do want them to leave the Skywalker era, I'm all down for that. For a character like him, considering there's a really good chance he's not going to be interacting with any of the main characters because he's kind of like on the world now. It's, to me, it's most likely going to have a newer feel. It should have a newer feel. If anybody from the other stuff comes back here in the show, maybe they find a way to shoehorn. No, because he's younger. If they want to somehow integrate Asajj Ventress at some point, maybe. But I mean, I kind of hope that this show, even though it's operating in the same time as the Rise of the Empire, I'm hoping that he does not really run into anybody. No Leia, no Han. I guess he would have to run into Han, or he could, from where Solo leaves off. But no Luke, kind of his own thing. What I do kind of hope happens, and I forget what other show I had this wish for. Oh, Penguin. I had the same thought with Penguin. I wouldn't mind if Maul is like being told that things are being affected by a Vader, the Empire, the Rebellion. Hey, this cargo ship, the heist didn't work. Some Jedi kid did blank. I do hope that happens. I'll be fine with that. But I'm okay with him not running into anybody. He sure as hell should not run into Obi-Wan. That would defeat the whole Rebels arc in itself. So I'm excited. I hope it's good. And I still think I'm over this timeline, but if they're going to do stories like this that are kind of standalone, not crossing over into mainline stuff, it could work. I think it could work. I do love me some Maul, yeah. I still refuse to watch Tron Ares after they refused to give the role of Ares to underrated actors like Alan Ritchson, Andrew Garfield, and Ryan Quanten, three of whom are very talented and underrated. It was just, I tried to actually watch that movie this week, and I made it 20 minutes, and I was like, I'm good. I was like, I'm all set. Hamill has small, dainty hands. Maul goes to Eternia. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. But I do have to work on a Maul saber. I do have to print that. The one thing this was conversation yesterday. I didn't know about it really until after the fact. But Ray Park, OG Darth Maul, he's been off the rails for a while. We've talked about it on the stream. I guess he went too far. I didn't see any of it, but posted some images of his wife, and I think he has successfully banned himself from all things Star Wars, as far as I understand. And I would think weird of anybody who didn't ban him, because the dude needs help. Ray Park is in a stage now, like, the volume of posts that he does, the volume of stories that he posts, the types of things he posts when he is doing a reel of himself. It was already unhinged. And from what I heard he did yesterday, I don't know. But he, yeah. Ray Park is on one right now. He is on one. I could see Maul as part of the Horde. In the Horde is that Masters of the Universe. Am I just forgetting? And I didn't want to see any of them in Tron Ares. I didn't want to see anybody in Tron Ares. Jared Leto deserved that role. It's not even because he sucks that much. It just was so stupid. That movie was just so. That movie also felt like AI. It felt like a computer was just like, this is what the movie should be because this should work. It was just crazy. I can't believe what happened to Ray Park, and he may as well be banned from G.I. Joe as well, given that he played Snake Eyes. That's right. He did do Snake Eyes. He was an X-Men. He won't. Somebody made the comment he won't be coming back for Avengers Doomsday. You know. I got nothing on him, man. Or on the subject. It's sad. It's sad. What you gonna do? I guess rounding out Star Wars talk, going back again to the Kathleen Kennedy thing, seeing people's comments has been interesting. Not necessarily surprising. Has been interesting. But it's crazy, like, how many people are still refusing to give any Star Wars a chance under the Disney banner, because they just feel so burned after the sequel trilogy, allegedly. I don't get it. But I say, give some of these shows a try. You might like them. I can't make you, nor do I want to. But when people are still commenting about, like, Disney killing Star Wars, I understand the thought process, because that used to be my thought process. But if we just step back for a second, you'll see that there's actually some good stuff there. Now, I've also been on a rewatch streak. I'm trying to rewatch a lot of things that I hated out the gate. And some of them pass the mark, some of them don't. Currently was rewatching Ahsoka over the last 2 days. Still don't like it very much. There's some things I was able to get past, but overall I was like, yeah, Ahsoka's not my jam. It just doesn't make sense. A lot of the story. Like I said, I enjoyed Last Jedi on the last viewing. Force Awakens remains to be decent. Really enjoyed Solo. In fact, how about we rank some Star Wars movies on Letterboxd together? Let's actually go for it. I thought we had a list, and I guess we didn't. I also watched the last 2 episodes of Andor, because everybody was telling me that those are 2 of the best episodes in all of Star Wars. Disagree. Star Wars ranking. Star Wars ranked list. All right. Here we go. So, obviously, Empire Strikes Back is number 1. Let's just get these on here. Now, what's interesting about ranking these movies is you still don't have one without the other, right? Like New Hope is awesome. I actually rewatched New Hope a couple months ago, and I was like, I should watch this more often. It's really good. But it's the first outing, very surface level movie, and you need that baseline movie to get an Empire Strikes Back. So it's kind of hard sometimes to say Empire's better than the first one because you don't get the second one without the first one. It's a weird thing to rank movies against themselves. But here we are. All right, so this is where the OG3 rank with me at the moment. I think it's been this way since the dawn of time. So now we have Rogue One, right? Rogue One to me is easily there. Again, it's kind of hard because time, technology, etc. But that's where that is. Let's get another spin-off on the list. I struggle with Return of the Jedi sometimes because Return of the Jedi is Secret of the Ooze. Return of the Jedi is okay. We really need to nail down like some stuff for kids. Let's throw in some Ewoks and make everybody be jokey. But the final battles of Return of the Jedi are pretty dope. So. Solo remains where it is right now. Now it's time for the prequels. So that goes there. That's going to stay down there. That's going to stay down there. Oh, they have that on the list. Interesting. I don't think there was a movie release for that. I think it was just the they did do a special where they kind of put it all together. So I guess I'll leave that there. Why not? Oh, it was Attack of the Clones. That's why. All right, so Attack of the Clones is easily above that. I'm going to delete this because it's not technically a movie. It was a TV show. For now. And then we have Revenge of the Sith. Now, Revenge of the Sith, to me, isn't as high without the Clone Wars existing. The cartoon. Because I absolutely hated Revenge of the Sith when I first saw it. But upon watching Clone Wars, I gained an appreciation for Anakin's fall. Worked its way up the list. I would dare say it could do that. The lightsaber fights, I think, 2 and 3 could easily switch around. All right, so let's get into the sequel trilogy. So we have Force Awakens. So I just watched Force Awakens the other day. Just watched Solo the other day. It is a copy of previous story points. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. Return of the Jedi is getting a lot of points for the ending. And it's not a bad movie. It wraps things up very nicely. But I think because of that, there's not a lot of action in it. Not until the end. I'm going to move Force Awakens above Solo, not because I didn't like Solo, but I remember having a smile on my face when the Millennium Falcon is flying around like the Fallen, Star Destroyer, and all that stuff. So I'm going to put it there. All right, so now we have... Well, would have been at the bottom of my list before. Easily. Yeah, I'm going to put it there. And then we have The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, that stays down there. I tried to rewatch Rise of Skywalker the other day and failed. Absolutely failed. So I'll read out the list so far for those of you who are only listening to the podcast. Number 1, Empire Strikes Back. Number 2, Revenge of the Sith. Number 3, Rogue One. Number 4, New Hope. Number 5, Return of the Jedi. Number 6, Force Awakens. Number 7, Solo. Number 8, Last Jedi. Number 9, Phantom Menace. 10, Attack of the Clones. 11 is the Clone Wars movie. The first CGI one, not the animated one. And last place is The Rise of Skywalker. I do not believe I'm missing anything. Now, what's crazy is, even if you're a Disney hater, right? That stuff, to me, is still above the prequels. And I think this is an exercise in the fact that, like, the prequel kids just grew up to become content creators. And at some point, the sequel kids are going to grow up and they're going to be content creators. And they're going to say that The Force Awakens is their favorite movie. And they're going to say Last Jedi is their favorite movie. You know, like, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. So right now, this is where my list stands. I think. It feels wrong to me to lower the Return of the Jedi, but I might have to. I think I might have to lower it, but not because it sucks or anything. You know what? We're gonna move Solo. Solo's going to 6, and Solo. Yeah, Solo's going to stay at 6. Force Awakens, I think Force Awakens would be higher if we didn't know where it ended up, which was nowhere. But going off The Force Awakens on its own, I think it's a good movie. I think it really holds up. It opened a bunch of doors and they all went to nothing. That's its biggest issue. Can I add TV shows on here? Book of Boba Fett. I can. Okay, let's get interesting here. Clone Wars. Tarkovsky. Clone Wars. Oh, that's funny. They have like the various story arcs here. Ahsoka, is that on here? Oh, so they don't have Ahsoka on here. I can't. Okay, so they don't have everything. They don't have. All right. Holiday special. Let's add the holiday special in there. Let's see. Okay, Tales of the Jedi's on there. All right, so we can actually start ranking in some of the other stuff too. I'll get to your comments. I just want to make sure I add everything on here that we can. We'll put in Rebels there, even though that's like the movie, we'll placeholder it like it's the TV show. I have Tales of the Jedi. We have Tales of the Empire. Oh, I feel like it's glitching, so let's just save real quick. All right. Star Wars. Oh, they have all the Vision stuff too. Oh, and they split it up. I don't want to. That's too many. Starfighters. Oh, here's Ahsoka. Oh, I was just spelling it wrong. That's why. Andor. Nope. Andor. All right, let's try this again. And all right, Andor, Disney Plus. Oh, that's a special look. What if I do Star Wars Andor? No. Okay, so we'll add the. No. Mando? Mandalorian? They just have the movie. All right, well, I'll use that as a placeholder as well. It just no, it's not. This is not going to work because it's very incomplete. It's incomplete, but like this would be down. This is way down there. The Mando TV show. Now it's gonna ruin the list, right? Nah, it's not gonna work. This won't work. That's all right. We'll get rid of those. Why not? Why not? Yeah, this is the Clone Wars movies. The worst thing I've ever seen. The Lego movies. That's right. I forgot Lego Star Wars. That was actually pretty good. There's multiple ones. That's right. I only saw that one, so I'll move that up. We'll go there. All right, let me catch up in the comments. I don't disagree. I do not disagree. All right, Rex says, for me, episode 1 was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw. It started off, really? It started off for me, it's number 1. Wow. I mean, I rewatched, because here's the thing too, right? When making this list, I do have to acknowledge that there are moments in some of these movies that would probably switch up the rankings a little bit. Like the Maul versus Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. And the pod racing is actually really good as well. The pod racing scene, pretty good. But the plot is just, So that's the only reason why it's knocked down. But that fight scene was just amazing. If I ranked these on fight scenes, I'd reorganize some of it. But I didn't know that was your first movie. That's crazy. It really sucks, yeah. And then the holiday special, yeah. So that's where I'm at, I think, on this list here. And, again, I hated Disney with the best of them, but they didn't make the worst movies. Maybe man, you threw me off, Rex, when you mentioned the movie, because then I'm like, that lightsaber fight and the pod racing. Yeah, I think we're there. Solo and Rogue One being outliers because they're not force-wielding movies at all. So I think that's my list. I think that's the list. All right. So it's Empire, Revenge, Rogue One, New Hope, Return, Solo, Phantom, Awakens, Jedi, Lego, Attack of the Clones, Holiday Special, Rise, and Clone Wars. I think that's where we fall. Shout out to the casual nerd, Josh, in the house. Good to see you. Yeah. So let me know your lists. Let me know how you would rank the movies. I know JB mentioned Empire, New Hope, and Rogue One, and I have no issue with that list. Because I would, if I take Revenge of the Sith out of that, which I originally hated, that would probably be my list as well. Yeah. Hey, Gen X Wing in the house too. Good to see you. Rogue is near the bottom with me. Wow. My friend Chris, who hates everything, he also hates Rogue One. Why do you hate Rogue One, though? All right, so my friend Chris, he was like, I hate the movie because you obviously know they're going to die at the end. So, like, there's no, there are no stakes. That's his opinion. But for me, I was like, dude, complete opposite. Because before the movie came out, they were all making their social media rounds, and they were talking about how they signed multi-film deals. And on top of that, I was like, it's Disney. They're not going to have a female main character and then nerf her in the first movie. Like, that wasn't on brand for Disney at all at that time. At all. So nothing about it told me, I'm sitting there waiting for her to somehow, get off the planet, or she's in a bunker. I don't know. I was like, all right, somehow they're going to make it. Oh, and then freaking, Tony Jaa's character and the other dude, man, I love them. I love those guys in that movie. Man, bottom of your list. JB said, Rogue One is the untold journey leading to the next part. Yeah. Where did you have it again? Number 3. Because I feel like of all the side stories to do, that's like the one that makes the most sense because it's a literal callback to, many died to get us this information. Like it similar to my father fought in the Clone Wars, and we got this fact, actually see the Clone Wars. Like it's very, to me, it's a spinoff that actually makes sense. So he said the initial reason I was not a fan was because the trailer had so many scenes that never made it into the screen. That is true. That is true. It was also a little too dark for my liking. Oh, interesting. But what's funny too is like I remember like the X-Wings on that rain planet in the dark. I was like, oh man, I've never seen like X-Wings with like their headlights on, like shit like that. I was like, oh, that's like cool. I don't know. Because don't forget, we were still riding off the high of Force Awakens at that point. Damn, I don't know why people hate Rogue One when it's better than the sequel trilogy. Though I wouldn't have changed the music used for the final battle when the final battle music was from Terminator Resistance. Really? Didn't know that. But one of the best space scenes, you're talking about the Vader scene? Also, I like that Rogue One is a little dark. If you're referring to a dark tone, Star Wars needs to take some dark and gritty elements. I agree with that. Many Bothans was a Jedi quote. Oh, right. Yeah, I failed Star Wars just now. I'm going to hit the button.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
You're right. I effed that up. I don't know. It's funny. I'm sitting here thinking about it. Like, J.J. Abrams, that dude plagiarizes so hard that he literally was like, I'm going to take the whole plot point of the third trilogy movie, which didn't make sense, and try it a third time and try it a fourth time. Giant machine that can kill planets. I'm going to copy that so it happens a third time in Star Wars. Oh, I can't think of anything original. I'm going to make it happen a fourth time in Star Wars. J.J. Abrams sucks, man. Sucks. Rogue One also led to productions like Mando and Andor. Practical effects, live locations, great cinematography. Yeah. It's a shame we didn't get that in Mando Season 3. But Season 1, I do remember those videos of them like out at the desert, and they had giant blue screens out in the desert to kind of like fill in some background or get rid of things in the background. Mando Season 1, I said it on I think last week's stream. I think part of the reason I get so mad at Star Wars sometimes is Mando Season 1 and 2. It like brought Star Wars back to the forefront. Like everybody was talking about it. Like when people like Josh, like Casual Nerd, like when they're talking about a show, I'm like, oh, that show's moving. Because it's just like politics, right? Like we're so busy in life, there's no way you could pay attention to everything. So if it's grabbing the attention of like the working class parent, like I'm like, okay, that has some motion to it. So when a Josh, my friend Joel, like when they're like, oh, I'm watching the new Star Wars show, I'm like, oh, okay, so that must be it. It's making an impact because it's grabbed their attention. They're so busy. You're fighting to get their attention. And then we got like Mando Season 3 and we get some of the other things. And when they're not getting attention, that's where I'm just like, we're failing. And I want us to win. No booing. God, it's reminding me of how unoriginal Jurassic World Rebirth, aka Re-F, was as a lazy rehash of Jurassic Park 3 with the opening literally ripped off Final Destination with the Snickers wrapper BS. Yeah. Yeah, Hollywood, that's all they do, man. It's all about taking risks, and they try to limit their risk as much as possible. Rogue One's probably my favorite Star Wars film before Return of the Jedi. I think I had it before. Yeah, it's before that. I'll pull up the list again. For anybody who jumped in late. By the way, if you just jumped in, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell to get notified every time we go live here on Nerd Affiliated. Yeah. Yeah. It's my list, and I'm sticking to it. But I'm shocked. I'm shocked at, The Last Jedi changed the internet forever. It changed the internet forever. And it's amazing to me that in finally letting my guard down and just putting it on in the background while I'm doing some work, I was like, it's not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing. But I don't think Disney Star Wars is either, in retrospect. In real time, I had my struggles, and I yelled about it from the top of the highest mountains. But, at the end of the day, we only get one life. We might as well enjoy it to the best of our ability. Unless you're Ray Park, of which case you got to figure your shit out. Gotta figure your shit out, bro. I'm just checking the internet real quick. The one thing we haven't looked at, well, there's two things we haven't looked at, but we'll go to one. We haven't been here in a while. We'll end the stream. We haven't talked toys in a little bit. Ray Park is Ninjor. And then Ninjor is Motu. Like Power Rangers? Ninjor, Ray Park. He's not on here as he's not credited on here. You sure? Yeah, because I was thinking Ninjor as Power Rangers as well, but I was like, there's no way that's what JB's talking about. Is he really in the new movie? Ray Park's British? Didn't know that. Let's go to his IMDb. Yeah, I don't see anything here about that. Oh, bad joke. I am not the best with Motu. I'm not even going to BS. So I'm not even going to BS. So going over the Hasbro, let's just put Maul back on Eternia. Yeah, we'll just do that. That works. We've not been over here for a little bit since we've been addicted to 3D printing. But Hasbro has had a couple of releases, especially on the Star Wars side. And, price point has kept me out of toy collecting for a hot minute. Continues to do so. I would love to have this 2-pack, but it's not a need at the moment. I don't even have an Astonishing X-Men display so I could skip it, but I do want a Colossus figure. Would love to have that. Scrolling down. You know, I do want these two. I do want the Blade and I do want the Wolverine, but $28 is... Can't do it. Can't do it. You know, and being a dead horse here, but like the prices aren't just because Hasbro being greedy. You know, like people say they don't want to be political about it, but like them's the facts. Them's the breaks, son. Like the dude put tariffs up, prices got to go up. That's how that works. Yeah. But the Sentinel's still here, or at least it was last time I checked. And I want it, but they raised the price on me and I can't do it. Can't do it. I didn't buy it at the lower price. Who was it? Was it Rick Ross that said it? Yesterday's price is not today's price? Or was that Fat Joe? Yesterday's price, not today's price. If Hasbro does a sale, we're going for it. We're going for it. But you know, I have to say, you guys know I'm already a big fan of what I call the new version of the HasLab, which is the limited pre-order. I'm even more of a fan of it, where it's like, all right, guys, we're going to make it limited time run. And then whatever's left over, it ends up on the site. Get it while you can. I'm all for that. And then when it's gone, it's gone. So there's that. T3 said, oh yeah, the Go New Meta. That was the site, or actually the podcast yesterday was with the owner of Go New Meta. So make sure you check that out with T3. Use T3 Collects 101 for 10% off. I think he also got it from someone too. What do you mean, Patrick? And then the Sentinel is so awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I do want to get the Sentinel, but I feel like I could print it. I feel like somebody at some point is going to make a print of this thing. Because you need a bunch of them. You can't just have one. You can't just have one. Let's go to the outlet. Is anything new shown up there? Oh, the Strange and Morbius. Interesting. Okay. You know, the fact that they're not pricing these things to somewhat compete with Ross and Ollie's, it's still kind of weird to me. The fact that the big box stores are not doing discounts like Ross and Ollie's is still confusing to me. Bulk down to $38. That's not bad, actually. Not bad at all. Skull's also $38. I could be convinced. Hasbro needs to re-release Storm and Bishop. Yeah. Well, no, I want the next Bishop to be the long hair one, because now long hair one is in season 2. So we need that to happen. Did I get the email about the delay with the 84 pack? Yeah, and the Ectoglow. Yeah. My wallet's okay with it for now. My wallet is okay. Going over to Big Bag Toy Store. Decent sales. What if we go to... Do they have like an all? Oh, they have some Star Wars on sale too. Power Sword one. So this it's funny. This is similar to what Dave and I were talking about the other day, where it's like, you know, this Power Sword, granted, it lights up. There's that. But this Power Sword's $131. 3D printer was $400. So by buying the 3D printer, I can make infinite Power Swords. and the lances and the friggin', you could just make whatever you want. The helmets. So that my brain kind of like shifted a bit once I got the 3D printer and made my first thing. I was like, oh, I could buy the replica or I can make the replica. And that's why I'm from the top of the mountains telling you guys, I kind of want you to give 3D printing a shot while it's still free and fun. Because once it becomes easy to do, the studios and all these franchise owners are going to start cracking down on, hey, you don't own the rights to that, blah, blah, blah. It's going to happen. So while you can, have some fun, print some stuff, print some helmets, print some swords, all sorts of props, statues, the whole nine. The whole nine. All right, nothing here is really grabbing my attention too much. So let's go to a place we've not gone to in a very long time. And we'll wrap today's episode. Onslaught was part of the next X-Men retro card wave. Oh, yeah, that Onslaught figure. That looks really good as well. Haven't went to Ollie's for a while. Yeah, same. All right, well, look, 25% off code on the screen. $25. Minimum purchase of $250. Jerks. All right, let's go to shop. Oh, we're already under shop. This was really good. This was announced the other day. I'm a little tired of sideshow, debuting or announcing something, but it's a year away. Like, I know that's how it works. I don't know, it's getting kind of old. So when they announced this one, I was like, great. But like seeing that it's a whole year away, 2027, I'm like, there's no. And that's best case scenario. It's a year away. It's more of a year and a half, because it says June of 2027 is the end of that window. So looks amazing though. The technology is getting crazy with these hot toys. Crazy. Clicking on trending is not working. Look up the Crow Plastic Infinite statues. Wow. That's really good. That is really good. $479. That means euros, but deluxe gold $579. Wow. Oh, it's got rooted hair too. That's crazy. $689. That head sculpt is good. Man. Beavis and Butthead by Mondo had a $18 additional tariff. See? It's crazy. Yeah, what's Mondo doing right now? You ordered the $689 one? You're a rich man. You are a rich man. The Ray Stantz figure is still there for pre-order. That He-Man still for pre-order. Everything else sold out. Yeah. Until the tariff stuff turns around, if it ever does, it seems to get worse every day. But I feel like until that stuff turns around, we're not going to be seeing a lot of these companies doing heavy restocks, because it's not worth the risk. Something new comes out, go for it. Something's very, very popular, go for it. But otherwise, it's like, let's just hold out. Let's hold out on a re-release. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's look at some Star Wars stuff. Tony said one and done. Yeah. I have that Luke Skywalker downstairs that I won from Dave's. Dave, was that your Cure for the Ride for the Cure stream? Which, by the way, the next one's coming up this year, guys. Ride for the Cure, Ride for Roswell. So stay tuned for the details on that. But yeah, that was my first hot toy. That Luke Skywalker. And then second one was the Batman 89. That's downstairs. I have not gotten another hot toy since. Those are my only two. One and done as far as like doing, doing a run of figures. Yeah. Yeah, these are good. Shin Batty. Oh, they have that one in stock. Interesting. Sideshow Eric the Crow. Let's see. I can't click on links from my screen. Oh, so they have that same figure here too. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Man collects in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, that's insane. Insane. Where were we at? We were in Star Wars. And I really want that Balin skull. Is it not skull? Am I incorrect? Is it two L's? No. Is it Balin? Balin? Not you. Let's go to Google. Balin. Oh, actually, Bayland. Skull. So let's go back to Sideshow. I showed this the other day. I'll show it again because it is damn fine. Damn fine. And it's waitlisted. You know, I kind of want to do a Balin skull cosplay. I kind of do. It would be a very pricey one because there's a lot of medieval cloth on here, but I don't know. The gauntlets, the belts, lightsaber, obviously those could all be 3D printed. But the rest of it, the chest piece could probably be 3D printed, even though this is supposed to be like a leather type thing. But I that could be a fun one. Get a Modu case with me. I need someone else as crazy as me that I have to spend that much on display cases. Steve-O from the Real Nerdbusters. He got some expensive cases. He spent a lot of money on those from Sideshow. They've been delayed for like 3 years. It's crazy. Grow out the beard. I wish I couldn't grow a beard like that. I wish I could. Like you have a big beard. I can't do it. My body just does not do it. Yeah, the chest piece. Yeah, I can do foam in the shoulders. Yep. Yeah, it's funny. I'm actually, with a lot of the 3D printing stuff, I look at things now and I'm like, all right, is that worth the print or should I just make it out of foam like I used to? Like I toed a line with a lot of it. And something like the Balin skull cosplay, I think the shoulder pieces and the wrists would be just easier 3D printing. But yeah, the chest piece, that could be an easy foam build. So yeah. But that's an episode. That was a fun one. I didn't show you guys this. It's funny. There's something on the printer that's almost done, and I'm like, should I just kill airtime until then? We'll see. But for those of you, it'd be easier to move if it was a phone. Oh, made out of foam. True. That is true. So for those of you who've been watching Daily Planet, I believe I posted it there. I mean, obviously I'm working on more than one thing at a time. You guys know this. And I guess I'm full of shit because I have finished 3 lightsabers. So it's not like I haven't finished anything I've 3D printed. I do have Ghostbuster stuff printed, just not assembled. I'm waiting to do a video on that. Actually, that was what I was kind of hinting at earlier today. I'm thinking about doing a members only live stream where I put together some Ghostbuster stuff that I've printed. I'll see. I want to do more things for the members of the channel, but I also feel bad when I leave people out of doing things. So I got to figure that out. Of course, once again, members, you do have, if you're in the higher tier, you do have the 10% off on the website. And for everybody else that's a member, once again, thank you for being a member. And when I do the member only streams, you do get a link to join for that. But I'm thinking about doing a member only live stream, putting together some Ghostbuster stuff. We'll see if I do that. Again, I feel bad. But the other thing I'm printing, we are printing the Power Lances from Power Rangers. So these are actually all printed. They're all printed. They're done. Actually, I made a whole bunch of these coins to try different methods of printing. So I got too many. But if I do more, I have extra, which is great. But actually, let me shout out where I've been getting my prints from. Like I said, I joined the Patreon. You don't have to join the Patreon. You can always buy things off the website if you want to start printing some fun things. But Yosh Studios is where I've been going, and they have just amazing stuff. Amazing. Today he dropped some Red Hood files. I've always wanted to make a Red Hood helmet, so that's going to finally happen. And this is where joining his Patreon makes sense, because I can buy this one file, right? There's also a sale going on, 20% off if you buy 4 items or more. But the Patreon, for $15, every month when he drops a new file, and he drops new files every month, multiple times a month, you get them for free. You don't get the back catalog, but you get from the month you join, the month prior, and then all the months going forward that you're a member, you get all the new releases. So I already have this file for free for $15, along with all the other files that he released this year. Or sorry, this month and last month. So that's where I'm like, joining the Patreon just makes sense, because it pays for itself. So I do want to make this one, because I've always wanted a Red Hood helmet. Red Hood was my first cosplay. I just didn't have the skills to make a helmet. So I think it would be a full circle moment to finally do that, to make this one. Do I make the Batman inspired one or just a regular one? We'll see. But he's got a ton of stuff, and like I said, this is the one that we're currently printing. He actually on Patreon released an extra file today. So that's what's on the print bed at the moment. If this thing stands up. So this will be a video as well. It will be a video. But to give you guys and gals just a little game plan for what's happening with all the 3D print videos, I have been recording almost everything. And at the moment, the first video that's going to go up, that's a pre-recorded, is like my first, depending on how much I add to it, it's going to be my first month of printing, like my thoughts, the unboxing, how I've been feeling about it. Then the second video I have queued up is the Power Sword from Power Rangers. So that one, I've got all the files already set. All I need to do is just finish the sword, really. That's where I'm at. And then I can schedule that video. The third video I have already queued up, as far as the videos already there, are, 3D printing again. At this point, we're almost 2 months in. So it could be like month 2 printing, just like a discussion video. And then the power lances, they're all printed. So I could just record myself getting those ready for a video. So that's 4. The He-Man sword, decided to start doing that one. So that's video 5. So we have a lot of videos planned out for once, properly planned out, and I'm actually recording. So I have a lot of stuff recorded. I just got to start editing them and just finishing them off. So that's where we're going on the channel as far as content goes. I'm going to start going back into the Ghostbuster stuff, especially on the printing side. I think as we get closer to Ghostbuster Day, because it'll be more applicable. And I'm hoping that my skills are a lot better by the time I get to Ghostbusters Day. So maybe I do make something cool for Ghostbusters Day. I don't know. We'll see. But having a bunch of videos, what I'm finding is I'm playing it safe and I'm just recording. I'm recording everything. And just every couple days, going to the computer, offloading it, putting them into folders. And, at some point when I get some time, I'll sit there, start editing stuff, doing voiceover. And then we've got straight content coming this year. So I'm trying to get better at content this year. I'm trying to post more pre-recorded stuff this year. Trying to post more on social media this year, but that's been a little bit harder to do just because of time. But, I think the print is done. It's done. Yeah. Well, it says 99%. And I can see the print head moved off to the side. So let me get that print and then we'll end the show. Talks amongst yourselves. All right. So we have the handle. There you go. Now, what's crazy about this handle, he just dropped it today. And what's cool about his prints too is they have a hole through the center. So you could run your like a rod through everything. Let's go back here. So you see how the handle has the wrap on it? He dropped a file or version that's unwrapped. So I'm going to use foam to wrap around it and simulate like real leather, essentially, versus printing out a leather print and then it doesn't have a leather feel. So I'm going to use foam, wrap it around it. Maybe I can buy faux leather from the store. But he also dropped a longer handle, which I didn't realize how short that handle was until I've seen this one now. So this one I can insert jokes. I can double fist this one, where the other one would be probably cut off here. So I don't know. I like the longer handle one as of now. We'll see. But it's funny. I thought it was this way up, because the power sword for Power Rangers is so small, but it's that way because this sword is supposed to be massive. Like so. So I'll finish printing this off. Should be done tomorrow, actually. All this printed off. And then do I build this before I build the Power Lances? I don't know. Yeah, double-handed sword. I could also do it where it's like magnetic and I can switch the handles out, but I don't know. We'll see. But that's what we're doing, and that's the game plan. So it sounds like you guys are down for the game plan. You endorse it, so I'm happy. What size one did you print as far as the sword or the handle? Because this one, the handle just, he called it the extended handle. The sword, I'm printing in 4 pieces, not because I don't have a huge printer, so I'm doing the 4-piece one. I wish I had a big enough printer to do the halves or even the full. But no, it's split into 4 pieces. That's all I can do. But I think that's it. I think that's a wrap. Thank you guys and gals for being on stream today. It was a good time, and I'm telling you, this 3D printing thing has been so much fun. So much fun. Can't wait to start dropping the videos. I'm hoping they could be weekly. And yeah. Dave, man, go for it. You can probably print out the 2 halves with your H2S. But yeah. Great trailers dropped today. I'm feeling good about this year as far as content, as far as movies, TV shows, all that stuff. So through all the things happening in the world, let's try to stay positive for each other. And yes, Gen X Wing podcast is starting in 15 minutes. So make sure you guys head over there for the after party of HeyArcher Live. That is the plan. HeyArcher Live every Thursday, 8:15 p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. I might drop a Daily Planet tomorrow. Who knows? I've been doing the Daily Planets when I can. But either way, like I said, you can find us over on Instagram and on Facebook, Nerd Affiliated and the Real Nerd Busters. Of course, on Reddit and on Discord. Links for everything will be down below. Start the elevator music. Yeah. Stay warm this weekend. Kathy mentioned how her internet's already being wonky. So stay warm, stay safe, and make sure you pick up some booze before you're snowed in on your house. Let me know what you're watching this weekend. Let me know what you thought of those trailers. I already know, JB, movie of the year. As always, like, comment, subscribe, be kind to one another, and I'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm out of here.
What? Huh? More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Yeah, come on, push a button. Push a goddamn button.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.